Today, I want to talk about Warren Buffett. Imagine, empathize with Warren Buffett in his younger years. Warren Buffett had a strategy um, while he would go through different companies. His strategy was to find undervalued companies that had fundamentals that aimed towards growth. He read thousands upon thousands of company minutes, thousands and thousands of companies worth of company minutes just to find one that he would invest in. This took patience, discipline, clear focus, integrity, self-leadership, essentially, for him to go through this process day in and day out so that he would invest in one single company. While there's other more what's the word, more fad type market, quick return type investing ways out there where you can sit there and follow this candlestick maneuver and gain a buck. Just imagine how a young Warren Buffett would feel when he is slowly investing in these companies that are slow movers. Their foundations are beautiful, but they're undervalued, and you have to wait for that company to mature just a little bit before the stock starts to come into value, right? And then as that stock builds and builds momentum, it compounds to what we know now as Warren Buffett, right? But the key there is that he had a philosophy, and with integrity, he followed through with his North Star to invest in undervalued companies. And he had a way to do it. He had faith that what he was doing was the correct thing. And while others might have looked like they were getting great results, he got great results. While others looked like they were getting ahead, maybe making hundreds of millions of dollars, the Oracle of Omaha was compounding hundreds of millions of dollars over time. It's a foundational concept to think about because you're talking about self-leadership principles to do what's right with integrity for your North Star. And that takes self-awareness, it takes emotional intelligence, it takes discipline and consistency under pressure, consistency under pressure. It takes adaptability and accountability, vision, staying aligned with that goal and making decisions day in and day out saying, this might not look like it's much, but it makes sense to me, it makes sense to my North Star, and I'm sticking with it. Even though in times I feel frustrated because I'm comparing somebody else shortcutting the system, and it looks like they're actually winning over 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Instead, I'm going to do the correct thing, follow the correct system, and with integrity, being true to myself, lead by example. This is a lot, right? That takes a lot of emotional intelligence to handle that kind of pressure. Think about it. A small mind would have buckled under that kind of pressure. So if you think about that, a small mind begets small decisions, which begets a small mind. In order to follow forth with your North Star with integrity and excellence, you have to grow your mindset. You have to have, maybe you might have a small mind now, but in 2 years, you have to build to a bigger mindset, a bigger mind. That takes all of these core skills, and they're not taught very readily. So let me read some of these with you. Self-awareness. He was honing his power of reflection. Um, the compounding benefit of that alone over time is a heightened self-awareness, which allows you to make clearer, more confident decisions. Confident decisions, aligning with your long-term goals. It's this continuous reflection strengthens your leadership presence and opens doors in roles where emotional intelligence and clarity are essential. That means leads me into emotional intelligence, being able to navigate in pressure circumstances, even with relationships. Conflict resolution is an emotional intelligence ability and reaction to resolve situations. Emotional intelligence has this compounding effect. As you become a leader, you can navigate high pressure situations with grace. This makes you someone that others learn to trust and respect, and it strengthens relationships with loyalty, because people build loyalty through respect and trust. In fact, that's one of the equations I love to say is respect plus trust equals loyalty. Over time of Warren Buffett respecting himself, going through the process that he had devised, it looks to others as if he's extremely disciplined. I've always said that self-respect externally looks like discipline. I respect myself and my health, so I go for walks and runs, and I do resistance training. Everybody else is like, oh, wow, you do all that. Well, it's discipline to them. It's self-respect here. And so that consistency with self-respect and building your plan, knowing the details, building routines within your daily life that are part of that plan, that empowers you to take on your North Star, is discipline. It's what people see as discipline, and the compounding benefit to discipline and consistent action, which would be your consistency, your consistent action, is exponential growth. In a routine that is a daily routine that you're empowering yourself, you're naturally compounding great results. Well, actually, even if you have a bad habit, you're naturally compounding results of one form or another. In this case, you're choosing the better results as opposed to feeling the pain later, which would be a bad habit. And good habits build great results and compound great results. Being able to go through emotionally adverse conditions, being able to consistently choose the routine for the long term over short-term pleasures and gratification builds an adaptability that most people don't have. That is going to allow a person to embrace change and grow when things change and is painful for a lot of other people. Those who are able to adapt and grow when things change attract opportunities and are ready for opportunities when they appear. There's a lot of people sit there and go, oh, well, that person was lucky. The truth is, they were adaptable. They had the emotional intelligence. They were self-respect, looking disciplined. Thus, they were ready to pounce when an opportunity came. The next thing that I wanted to talk about that was a value that is built over time in regards to this Warren Buffett story. Your self-leadership builds accountability. You hold yourself accountable even when it's uncomfortable, and over time you're able to grow through your journey. Helps you hold with integrity towards your North Star. Accountability compounds into trust. Over time, people see you as someone who takes ownership no matter the situation. Takes ownership no matter the situation. This positions you for leadership roles, promotions, and greater responsibility. This positions you for greater responsibility. Someone with an entrepreneurship mind who's willing to take on greater responsibility starts a business, builds a business, grows a business. And yet, and those benefits that we've just talked about over time, the discipline, the accountability, the flexibility, the emotional intelligence, and the self-awareness are all going to be compounding factors to that business's success. And the next one is aligning your long-term goals to your vision. Well, it's obvious that Warren Buffett had a long-term vision. So he's able to stay in alignment with his long-term vision. What is that? He's displaying the discipline, self-respect, the emotional intelligence, the integrity, the excellence. All of these things keep him true on his journey, steadfast him on his journey. If he sways one direction or makes one mistake, he says, made a mistake, learning from it, moving on. And he's going towards his North Star just simply through self-leadership. It is crucial in those tough moments to create long-term opportunities. How do you create the long-term opportunities? You practice these skills. As you practice these skills, you build reputation over time, you build trust, which is part of influence, you build respect, you build sustainable growth. Before you know it, you have the ability to jump on opportunities that people are going to go, that person's lucky. When in fact, they didn't see all of the integrity on your journey, all of the values that you put into yourself. Whether they see it or not, doesn't matter. Preparing your journey so that you can take on opportunities that you desire within your North Star takes going the harder route. I think the final summation here is that we do the more harder things with integrity, while others may get ahead in the short term by cutting corners. Integrity is the long-term investment inside your future. If you stop and think about what's short-term and what's long-term, and then play the long-term goal, pay it forwards towards your future, you're going to be building skills that are not only essential for your North Star, for that person who you will be in 10 years, but you'll be building a compounding ability to have opportunities, see opportunities, and act to opportunities in the future. So next time you're faced with tough decisions, pause and think about the immediate situation, and then what's true, not in the immediate moment, but true in the 10-year goal, your North Star. Choosing integrity is going to be uncomfortable. Choosing the long term compared to the short term is going to frustrate you. Working with others who see the short term as an immediate way to do this or that is going to infuriate you at times. And it may seem like no one notices. It doesn't matter if they notice. The long-term skills that you build will put you in positions of great opportunity in the future. And that is essential towards your North Star.